I had a vision in 2008 and another one in 2022. Both of those are important right now. The first one I want to discuss is this thing with Asbury. There's some great revival everyone's talking about, but God showed me about that 8 months ago. Now I'm going to show you, first I want to show you this vision from 2008. Recently they're talking about 15-minute societies where a town is sectioned off into a small area and the people within it are basically contained. You're allowed a certain number of times to go outside your own containment area. It's like this TV serial Colony where you're limited. You have to live within one range and you're supposed to have a grocery store, everything you need within that little 15-minute block. You can't leave it basically. You have to live within that. In this vision that I received in 2008, in the 5th scene where it says decon all iniquity, that's what I saw. People lived in these little zones. And I tried to say, like, I don't understand what it was, but they had little zones. It wasn't a zip code because it was much smaller than that. But it was bigger than a suburb, like a development, like where I grew up in a bedroom community. I didn't understand what it was. Now they're talking about 15-minute communities. That's what it is. That absolutely would fulfill this. One more thing, notice on here this picture of the guy above the building. That's a jetpack. When I had this vision in 2008, those things didn't exist. Today they do. I'll leave you a link to this video, and if you look down in the text, I have some links here at the bottom, and you can go and look at those articles about the U.S. Air Force buying 3,000 of those for the back on June 1st of 2022. I had this vision right here, and he told me that the great falling away of the scripture, the same thing that all these false prophets for years have been talking about, this great revival that's coming, this great revival that's coming. And the same people who've always been saying that, guess what? It's their people leading this thing at Asbury. Now, all the articles that you easily find if you use the Google disinformation box will tell you that, oh, there's nobody leading it. It's all student-led. But if you look up that church, then you'll find that it's being led by this guy. Is a friend of well-known leaders within the emergent church. And the emergent church is now, sometimes they call themselves independent network charismatics. Notice carefully, there's no Jesus or God in that title. It's vague on purpose because all of them are changing the names of their organizations to neutral terminology so that they can draw in anyone and everyone. Same as the old universal church back from the days when Rome controlled the world. In the dream, all the leaders said, there it is, the great revival, go to it. And in the dream, the people just kind of looked around a little bit and were like, yeah. And then they went. Like they didn't pray. They didn't check their Bible to see if something sounded right. And the scripture says, if they say, look, here he is in the inner chambers, go. Watch this video. I'll give you a link to this one as well. Watch this video. I specifically say in there, because the dream showed me, it starts somewhere in the middle of America. And where is Kansas? In the middle of America, my friends. And that's where this thing is happening. It really smacks of fulfilling exactly this warning from June 1st. And I'm telling you, you should stay away from there. They're lying about who's leading it, and that alone should be a warning. When I was in Kiev, I found this church. It said, oh, we're a multinational church, I looked up the guy who was leading it. He said he was independent. No, he was on the payroll of a charismatic organization. It's not something they do all the time, but it is something they do because they know they have bad press. The old NAR, INC, they know that people warn about them. One of their defenses is to say, oh, these people just don't believe in miracles. Do not believe that. I believe in miracles. I've seen it myself. I've seen God answer so many prayers in such amazing ways. I've seen the dead raised. I've seen deaf people made to hear. I've seen cancer cast out, thedectomy. I've seen that twice in my life. God does miracles all the time. So don't accept that excuse. It's just when God says, hey, there's going to be a false move, and this is what it's going to look like, and then I see something that looks exactly like what was described to me, signals a flag to me, like watch out for this. And when I see that people are lying about who the leadership is, that by itself is enough. Forget any vision I had. That alone is enough to stay away. Friends, this is the man from Modesto reminding you as always, put God first in everything. Always pray about everything. Don't be like the chumps in the dream who just listen to their masters. There it is, go to it. To pray first. before you do anything. This is me reminding you, pray or be defeated.